YouTube, and wherever I do this video. Thank you for stopping by my very cash, non-official video here, chilling in nature, relaxing and grounding and all that little stuff. And you might say, well, why are you here? I'm here because I was inspired to share some explanation about an aspect of, I want to say it was the last video that I did for you guys regarding messages from your ancestors and the goddesses and so forth. It was something that I said in the video. What inspired me to want to come back and say, bring some more depth is today I did this very powerful healing, clearing, Akashic record reading and healing on myself, okay, in a particular area of my life. And it was, oh my gosh, I'm still like feeling the effects of it. Yesterday, I had a shamanic healing done at my favorite Reiki center here in Las Vegas. So it kind of just all went in together. And I felt like, especially what came out of the Akashic reading that I did today, I felt like this piece of information that I'm about to share with you guys may very well help you in some of the most excruciatingly odd, painful, long, complicated, issues in your life regarding connections, whether it be family, lovers, friends, partners, where there has been um, nothing but, let's just say, nothing but toxicity, okay? And that it seems for you that it's been this repetitive cycle, and you're kind of just like trying to find your way, for many of you, trying to not stay in the world of bitterness, right? Bitterness, unforgiveness, but equally not be naive, delusional, and forget what's gone on and allow yourself to continue on in endless cycles where things are just not balanced, they're not right, they're toxic. So many of you are like, well, what do you do? The last reading that I did, I think, was about, I said something to the effect of love and then karma. We were talking about karma, and how we have to allow it to play out, even though we want to be loving, but we start reaping other people's karma when we continue to basically invite it in, even though they have shown us time and time again that there is no growth, no progression, or no change, right? And what came out for me in the reading was so beautiful because I get it. And you'll have to see what resonates with you and kind of go through your process the way you're going to have to go through your process. But it makes perfect sense now because it's not about, and I want to add disclaimers, it's not about us ever seeking any kind of vengeance, though in our ego form, if we're being honest, our lower nature, and because of our own affliction, of course, that's a human response. It's human, okay? But in essence, as we're growing and doing our own healing work, we're never really seeking vengeance, even when we have to, like I explained in the last video, when you have to say, I love you, but I have to walk away. I love you. I forgive you. But because that you are a free will human being, a free moral agent, you equally have the right to choose your own life. You equally have a right to choose how you're going to behave, how you're going to conduct, what you're going to believe, what you're going to do and not do. I don't have the jurisdiction to override that. But I can say that because of what you're choosing, I must choose love. And love would require me, for two reasons, okay, to remove myself because it's harming me. Because love is going to also love me. Love is not going to just love you. Love is going to love me. On top of that, love is going to want what's right and the highest good So if someone is behaving toxic, if someone is abusive, if somebody is, the examples that I used, love wants them to eventually surrender and come to a place within themselves to go on their healing, okay? And it's a loving act about allowing individuals the space to be able to feel and see the result of their own actions. Not from a place of, see, I told you so. That's our ego, and we all have that, right? See, like, that's what you get. That's the initial phase of healing, because if you've been done wrong, you're going to go through that. But as we start healing, we're going to even see it from a more compassionate space. Because if you want something, have a person's best interest at heart, even if they have been severely wrong to you, one of the things you're going to want for them once you start healing and ascending is people can only heal and change once they see it. And I'm like, I can't even find the words. An individual we can never see, listen, you guys, we can't see often. We will never truly see until we don't have a choice. This is just the nature of this game called Earth School. Okay? And it's no set schedule or set template. We've all chosen different paths and different reasons for it, and soul contracts and yada yada. So we don't get to project, even though we've been severely hurt, we don't get to project onto the others like, okay, well, you need to heal today. Fuck that. Like, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how I've been doing it, right? So the only thing that we can do, the most beautiful thing we can offer, is the healing of ourselves. You know why? Energetically speaking, as we allow ourselves to do this with us concerning that, from an energetic perspective, things start to shift anyway. Quantum physics, the law of energy, the law of vibration. Okay? I don't want to get too deep into that. All right? But that is the most loving act that we can provide, even for those that we say, air quote, we want to help. Those that have hurt us, air quote, right? And the best thing we can offer in these situations is to remove ourselves, but from a different space. Maybe initially we remove ourselves out of spite, out of fear, because we're like, I'm tired of being hurt. I'm not going to keep letting people hurt me. Anger, vengeance, initially. That is the initial part. But in that initial phase, as we do the healing, now setting the intention and the determination, like, okay, it is necessary, but now it's necessary from a different space. In me, it's in a different space within me. Now it's about loving compassion and allowance. Because as long as individuals have people constantly, I said this in the video, constantly buffering their karma for them, they will not learn. And when I say learn, I'm not talking about the earlier version when we say that when we're angry, like, I'm going to get vengeance on you because you did this to me and you going to learn, right? We all have that. But they won't learn for themselves. And if you love somebody and care, then you're going to want, even if there is no connection, even if you have to walk away, you're going to want them to be able to get in a place at some point on their journey with coming to their own wholeness. And you're not going to continue to contribute to what has enabled them to stay in toxic cycles. Toxic cycles that's hurting them, and toxic cycles that's hurting others. And as long as they have that around them, it's harder and harder for them to want to do the healing, to want to do the journey, to want to face their demons, to want to make the hard decisions that it takes for this kind of work. As long as we're holding on to our crutches, people, places, things, addictions, ways of doing, living, and being, it's harder, it's more challenging to do any kind of inner work because you're buffering out, you're avoiding. So they may or may not. Now, here's the thing, we have to let go of any expectation, but when we're doing the healing, that's going to be a byproduct anyway. Any expectation of outcome or any expectation of them coming around or anything, because it ain't even about that anymore. It's like, okay, I'm thankful for the experience. Let me see my role in this. Let me go ahead and do my inner work and shift the energy on a quantum level. And hopefully, for their own sake, they'll start cooperating with their higher selves and light team. And hopefully, they'll be able, right? So I wanted to share that, okay? The most loving thing we can do in these complicated situations is pull back and love ourselves, shift the energy, allow them to do that, okay? They have to learn, you guys. That's why what we're seeing in society, and I don't want to get way deep into this, because I used to be complaining mega, because I was like, what the hell's wrong with these? You know what I'm saying? But it's because they've been coddled. They've been in environments that people, and I'm not talking about, hold on, I'm going too fast. Whew, let me slow down. Okay. Please hear me out, you guys. It's one thing, it's nothing wrong with helping people out. It's nothing wrong with forgiveness. It's nothing wrong with giving people another chance. It's nothing wrong with being supportive, especially to your own children or teenagers, young adults, and family. You know what I'm saying? That is nothing wrong with that if, hear it out though, okay? Not at the expense now of yourself. It's never okay if it's going to be at the expense of you. That's what I'm trying to say here. If something has to be at the expense of your own sanity, your own peace, your own, you know what I'm saying? That's a problem. It's a problem. I'm not talking about us being kind and generous. I'm talking about when this stuff has gone toxic, where people want to be on drugs and alcohol, but they constantly want, you know what I'm saying, no judgment, but I'm just saying, it's their choices. Okay, you want to be an addict. That's your choice. You got healing work to do. It's a reason for it. Go figure. But it's no one else's job to coddle your life because that's what you want to be. Nobody else's. And as long as they stay there, they'll never, as long as they're a bunch of enablers and coddlers and flying monkeys, you know what I'm saying, hiding and denying the reality of what that really is, right? They'll never heal. They don't have to. Think about it. As a child or teenager, you ain't doing nothing. Why? If your mom always makes up your bed and she always makes your breakfast, if she always, you know what I'm saying, why? Think about that movie Failure to Launch with Matthew McConaughey and Sarah Jessica Parker. Like, he had no motivation, to do it, and it was because he was hurt. But, until things start being shooken up, people won't change, right? And so I want to make that clear. I'm not talking about being vindictive or bitter or being proud or being stingy and trying to use your help as a carrot to control people, because that's a whole nother spectrum of toxicity, and I'm not going to talk about that right now. Because if we're doing stuff as a carrot to dangle to control people, that's something to be dealt with too. Okay, either it's pure and you can accept a person and allow them their individuality and honor and respect them and still help without an attachment to it, or you probably shouldn't be doing it. Okay, but in these extreme situations where people's life choices and lifestyle choices is causing harm to people, causing harm to you, and yet we continue to invite it in, we then reap the karma that they need to reap. They need to feel. And some of them have numbed out for so long and have had distractions for so long and have had people coddling them for so long that they have never really had to sit in nothing. They haven't really had to sit and feel pain long enough to see their role in it long enough to see where they need to heal and grow because it hasn't been required of them. Okay? Growth hasn't been required. And parents, some of their parents were toxic and had mental problems and some other shit, and still do, and continue to enable them and coddle them and make excuses for them. And then they get relationships with people that also do the same thing. They look for men and women that's gonna take care of them no matter what. They look for, you know what I'm saying? They use their charm. They use all this stuff just so long as they ain't gotta work. So long as they ain't gotta work. So long as they ain't got to change. So long as they don't have to change. So long as they ain't gotta heal. So long as they ain't gotta be no adult. So long as they ain't gotta, you know what I'm saying? And as long as it's there, they'll always do it. They'll go through these cycles and they'll destroy that and then they'll get another one and they'll destroy that and then they'll get another one and they'll destroy. And unfortunately, they are accumulating karma. They are. Okay, anytime we live in cycles like that, all we're doing is you don't get to sweep things under the rug. Hear me out, any of you who are coming on here, because I know this is YouTube and platforms, so all kind of folks. I'm trying to tell you what I know. Okay? It only goes so far and for so long until eventually you backed yourself in a corner and you're living out your hell nightmare. Okay? We cannot sweep things under the rug and pretend it away. Okay? That's a part of what the whole issue dynamic here is. People not wanting to face the music. Afraid. Right? And facing the music simply means just facing your real truth. Not the illusionary version of you or the lies or, you know what I'm saying? Owning the shit, When you done wrong to people, owning it. Like, instead of trying to, hear me out, you guys. Listen. Instead of trying to strategize and manipulate, just go to them. That's a risk you have to take. And see, this is what's ironic on this journey. Like, everybody wants this certainty, I want to know for sure. That's part of the problem, too. Especially when you're facing yourself and you know you've done wrong. When you're really getting that gut-wrenching honest. Face it. It's a risk you have to take. Go, because your role in terms of clearing your karma, your side of things, your part is simply just to, if you know emphatically that's what your guidance is showing you and you see it, your part is just to simply go to that person or attempt to, because some people say, well, I can't connect with them or whatever, they won't talk to me or, yada, yada. But do everything that you can. Don't lie and hide and deny and pretend. You know what I'm saying? Like, do everything in your power to try to go to that person. Reach out to that person and own your shit. Not going to them trying to, fill them out or, well, I want to see if they going to say sorry about, you're already in the wrong energy because it's not about what you feel like they did, because chances are it is obscured. It's about owning your shit. Yours. Yours, yours, yours. And being willing to accept if that person, you know, just taking that risk. Okay, are they going to forgive me? Are they not going to forgive me? Are they going to connect? Are they not going to connect? Let go of the expectation. This is about clearing your own consciousness, your own self, the own ripples, effects of karma that you're creating for yourself. Okay? Because the other people, chances are, depending on where they are in their journey, they're going to clear their shit and they're going to be all right. Okay? But if you know that you're sitting in there and you know you done show enough done some shit, you know it. Nobody don't need to come tell you it. You don't need to get a tarot reading about it. You show enough know you done some shit and it was wrong. And saying God forgive me, ain't gonna cut it. Okay? We have to face it. That's a part of the growth. That's part of it. Like, dang, I really screwed you over. Shit. I know I was. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just got to go there and then forgive yourself after that. You know, you got to forgive yourself. You know, it's a part of it, but you can't skip. Some people want to sweep it under the rug and forgive themselves and say, we all fuck up and yada yada, and there it is, right? You can't skip. You can't skip. Yes, you forgive yourself, but you need to deal with the messes that you have made. If, hear this out, because you are free will. You don't have to. If you want freedom, if you want change, if you want that inner peace that money can't fucking pay for and that the damn Ambien, you know what I'm saying, is gonna wear off and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you want that true soul peace, okay, that no high and no liquor and no amount of fucking and money can change, okay? Yeah, I'm talking about soul liberation now. Soul, that inner sense of okayness, not the fake stuff that we're portraying and putting on before people that we're around, okay? All of this is being said in love. I had to swallow all of this and then even had to understand these things from a higher perspective as I did my Akashic healing and clearing and reading today. It was like, whoa. And now I feel compassion, not pity. That was one of the messages that came out in the reading from the guidance, the Lords of the Akash, as well as my light team, was it's as they were showing me glimpses of things as I was walking the halls, the Hall of Records. And I was in tears. Like, I remember feeling all this energy and just was in tears. And I was channeling all this energy and healing. And I kept hearing, Brandy, it's compassion. It's not pity, it's compassion. See. And then I kept hearing see. And then I would look. And it was like, I was like, oh my God, I was in tears. So I just channeled all the more as I was in my higher form in the Akash. Then I started doing all kinds of stuff. Like, I was channeling Reiki, I was channeling light language, I was rewriting scripts, I was clearing old contracts, you know, and I was like, whoa. So I'm grateful for everything I have experienced, even the hurting stuff. Because guess what? It's not something that I would go want to sign up for willingly in my ego. Well, yeah, come on, give me some more torment, torture, and narcissistic abuse. Why don't you? You know what I'm saying? But in hindsight, you know, what I was able to see, I'm grateful because guess what? All of that accumulated got me here. Got me here. I had to learn my lessons too. I had to learn, you know, and I'm still learning the lesson of self-love, but I had to learn, yeah, you can be loving and kind and compassionate and you know, but you can't, you can't do that. You can't blindfoldly, willingly, without any wisdom, go jumping into stuff that is clearly proven to be not right. You know, you can't deny your intuition and because nobody else don't believe your intuition. You can't deny your intuition and think that it'll ever really turn out well, you know, and that's oh yeah. And on top of that, don't do things for the wrong reasons. Don't, you know, allow the ego to let you stay in something, you know what I'm saying, that you don't want to be in because you're trying to prove a point or because you know what I'm saying, like the silly lower level, lower nature reasons we be doing stuff. It's like, that's part of my lessons too. It's just like, okay, you know, oh, you need closure. No, you don't. No, and no. It's like evolve, like I had to learn, and I did that clearing in my session. It's like let shit go, Like, come on. And not just in the physical, not just the 3D, but entirely on a quantum level, on a spiritual level, on a, like, let shit go. But letting shit go from a place of wisdom doesn't mean that you go put yourself back in that same shit. You feel me? People have to grow. And we have a right to determine what. You know what I'm saying? Because people, it's their choice. We all have a free will. But we have to honor ourselves enough too. Like, okay, well, I ain't with that. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Like, bless you in your life and journey. You know what I'm saying? And your life's decisions and the way you want to live and how you do relationships. But for people who want to be close to me, they want the honor and the privilege to be in my presence. They want the honor and privilege to be in my life. Okay. Well, these are the requirements, and ain't nothing wrong with that. The only thing we can't do is try to enforce. Our job is to walk away. All right, you guys. I hope that helps. I enjoyed my little talk with you guys. I'm going to kick back, continue enjoying my little natureness right now, and get on busy with the rest of my day. All right. I sent you guys so much love and light. Namaste.